So you just signed up for a 5K, but then you remembered that you hate running. Now what? Last week, a client asked me, okay, Jamie, I hate running, but I really want to like it. Is there any way that I can enjoy running? And if you've ever felt this way, you're not alone. This isn't the first time that I've had this conversation with a client, frankly, with myself, with certain types of things too. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk you through, no pun intended, a couple of the curious questions that I asked my client so you can figure out how to make running work for you, if it's something that you care about. More on that later. I hope by the end of this video, you'll have a clear idea of whether or not you enjoy running, want to enjoy running, and how to make it your own. Key. So the first question that I went over with her is, why do you want to love running? Why do I want to enjoy it? What is it about running? Is it because fitness culture says you should enjoy running? Magazines say you should enjoy running. For this particular client, she lives in a very avid running town. So we noticed that she said, like, everyone around me enjoys running. Why don't I enjoy running? So this is a question that obviously only you can answer, but I think when we get honest with ourselves deep down, maybe we figure out that it's because everyone tells us we should enjoy running and we don't like it. That's okay too. But I am gonna give you some options to dive deeper or peel the onion back more. And something that we figured out with this particular client when she signed up for the 5K is she didn't have a goal of speed. She didn't have a goal of finishing in a specific time. She has a goal, get this, of figuring out how she can enjoy running. And I was like, that's a great goal, that we can definitely work with that. So we kind of are going at it from the fact of, how can I enjoy running on my own terms? What does that mean? So with that being said, it's possible that you've been trying to fit running into a box of what and how other people's rules about running or what they define as running. So we are gonna rip that box open and we are gonna make the rules changeable. We're just gonna throw the rules out the door, especially in this phase of learning how we can make it our own. And I wanna say this important reminder, no one needs to love running. There are plenty of ways that you can get in cardiovascular, heart pumping workouts without enjoying running. Again, if you want to enjoy it, that's what we're exploring here though. So remember, question 1, why do you want to enjoy running? All right, question 2. What do you like, if even a little bit, about running? And we're gonna get really specific here. So I'll give you some examples with a particular client. She enjoyed one workout on the treadmill in a gym, and this was a specific time. It wasn't all the time. Not a lot of people were around. And then she said she likes running on the treadmill facing a window. And I thought that was so telling, because what that tells me is that she enjoys nature. She enjoys seeing the outside. Now there's some gyms that don't face trees or anything like that. I knew the particular gym that she was referring to, but something to look at, something to observe. And I thought that was really telling too. She also is in a walking group that she really enjoys, and that's in nature. So nature was really fueling what she liked. One of the things that she does enjoy about running, it gets me out there in nature. Maybe you like zoning out on the treadmill. I often talk about connecting to our bodies during exercise, and yet there is other points in our life where sometimes it is nice to zone out or just, put on a podcast or an audiobook or something like that. So maybe that's something that's a part of it that you enjoy. Or maybe you like the way that you feel afterwards. That's a big push for a lot of people when we talk about ways that they can enjoy movement. We're trying to take specific pieces. I want you to get very picky about how you answer these questions. The one time that I enjoyed running, I was running on a treadmill facing a window. Not a lot of people were outside or were around me, and I saw 2 trees. I mean, very specific, right? But it gives us data to understand that we don't hate it all the time. So this is the piece of homework that I gave her, and I'll ask you next time as well. Next time you go on a run, if it's a 2-minute run, if it's a 5-minute run, 10-minute, whatever it is, think about it during what you liked about it. Even the shoes, we talked about having comfortable shoes. That makes a big difference in a run. All right, leading us to question number 3. What makes running feel bad? And remember, all of these questions I cannot answer, only you can answer. I will give you examples. And I like to use this specific client scenario because I think it's helpful. She said, breathing heavy, pushing hard feels awful. I hate the point at which I have to push through. So the option that I offered her was, when you start to feel that point of forcing yourself to push through, stop. Start to walk. Start to have a slow jog. Slow down. Observe nature. Pull yourself back. If that's the part that you hate about it and you want to enjoy it, write your own rules about it. Running doesn't mean that you push through for 60 minutes or whatever it is. We're running on our own terms. And I know what you're saying. Oh, but Jamie, we have to push through sometimes, yada, yada, yada. I truly believe that if you're gonna enjoy a specific type of exercise, forcing yourself to do it every single day is gonna be miserable. I hope that you continue to show up over time, and I think enjoying something helps you navigate when you want to push, when you want to push through that uncomfortable feeling, and when you need to stop, and when it's okay to stop. So maybe the breathing too fast or breathing too hard, it becomes too hard, happens quicker. Start out at a slower pace. You don't need to go 0 to 100 right when you start out running. You can start out walking briskly, and you're like, oh, Jamie, that's not running. We are redefining the rules here, okay? Something that the client brought up was that she doesn't like to run on pavement, so we were toying around with the idea of her running on a trail. Well, she ran on bark, and she didn't like that. So that was really interesting to come back to as well. That was a trail, that wasn't pavement, but she didn't like it. It got splinters, the bark was she just didn't like the feel of it. So all these things are so telling, but we can only ask ourselves these questions if we're willing to notice, sit back and notice these things. Another thing that she was mentioning was she was quote unquote like running into a lot of people that she knew. So we talked about running at different times. Maybe that makes a difference. She felt the pressure to speed up when she saw someone. And of course we entertained the idea, would you be judgmental of someone who was going at a slow pace or going at a slower pace or not sprinting if they were on a run? Because that's where a lot of this stuff starts, is how do we think what we've been taught and how do we think about someone when we see them. So the change starts from within. I know I can get so I asked her, what if instead of forcibly pushing yourself to go forward, what about pulling back? And that could be an uncomfortable thought to have for many reasons in our hustle culture that tells us we should always be pushing and always be going faster, stronger, harder, etc. What if you chose to run at a pace that felt good? So in closing, remember, if you hate running, I am not forcing you. No one is forcing you to like running. You do not have to like running. I hope that you find a cardiovascular exercise that you do enjoy to work your heart, but there's no reason that you need to have it be running. But if you do want to find enjoyment with it, you need to write your own rules about it. We need to stop following what other people say that running is. I was telling her a way that I enjoy running is I will skip or zigzag or, let myself be kind of childish with it. I love that. So find what you actually like by asking yourself what you like about it and by asking yourself what you hate about it, because then that gives you direction. We're going to change the things that we don't like, and we're gonna run on our terms. So tell me one thing, and feel free to get uber specific about what you either like about running, enjoy about running. It can be a paragraph, or what you don't like about running. It can also be a paragraph as well, because that's gonna give us a direction. All right, I'll see y'all next time.